is a vibrant community devoted to bridging the gap between talent and crew. Each week, our show offers transparent, insightful conversations with industry leaders. We unveil the magic behind the scenes, from candid discussions about unique filmmaking processes to in-depth technical exploration.
Join us in unraveling the intricacies of filmmaking one episode at a time. It's more than just cameras and lenses over here. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower as we peel back the curtain on the art of effective storytelling.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. All right. As a DP, I know purchasing gear can kind of be a nightmare. Whether you're talent or crew, finding technical solutions to any of your problems can be very challenging. And what's even harder is knowing where to go. So we have an answer for you. Head over to BandPro, one of our incredible sponsors here at CFA. Whether you're looking for high-end cameras and lenses or looking for guidance on what is needed to get started on this equipment journey of yours, BandPro has the gear and team that you need to thrive in your own career.
They are the exclusive representative of Ingenue's complete cinema line for all of North and South America, and their customer support is fantastic. Not only do they have a great team to answer any product question you might have, but they also have a talented team of in-house technicians that you can actually talk to get your equipment back up and running.
Which is really important, especially if you're on set. So,
yeah.
Bonus. Go to bandpro.com or stop in at their location in Burbank, and please make sure to say hi from CFA because we love them
Hi
so very
from
much.
us.
Yeah, hello. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another CFA podcast episode here at AFI Fest. It's our third interview today, our third of the festival, and I'm very excited to be here with the filmmakers of CARCASS, one of the AFI thesis films that is here premiering today at 5 p.m. in Chinese Theater number 4. Is that correct?
I'm glad you know. That's
Yeah,
good to know.
I have
Chinese
that
Theater
written
4.
down
See you
here.
there. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, I love that. So let's get into this. We have 3 filmmakers with us. We have first Eric Wang Schwager, who likes to go by Swag, correct?
Not
I told you I'd say it.
Damn it, Cyrus.
He is our wonderful director. We have Cyrus Yalda, our screenwriter, and Abbie Vance, our production designer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Of course, and it's so great to have a PD here because we never have production designers.
Thank you. We are wildly underrepresented in the festival circuit.
I would agree. Yes.
You should see this. I mean, it's a period piece.
Yeah.
Abbie does her thing in this movie.
Oh, that's
it's
so cool.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's a showcase. I mean, for all 6 of the core members and all the cast and crew, but her especially.
Yeah. Now you've teased the period piece. Can we give a little log line? What's it about?
Oh man, so CARCASS is about an executioner who has a very traumatic past, and he has to choose between survival or redemption when the only person he talks to is sentenced to death. So.
And we're set in France in the 1570s.
Yeah.
1570s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fun. Love
Yeah.
that. That's so cool. Now, screenwriter, we have Cyrus for that. How did you guys work together? How did you come together for this project?
Eric and I started working together first year into AFI. We made our first short film together, and we fell in love. Actually, Abbie was our production
Yeah.
designer.
Oh my 3 of us were all there,
returning
yeah.
to like the OG.
Yeah.
We
I
really
love
did.
that.
We
I
really
love
did.
that.
So it was very natural. I mean, Eric and I were dear friends outside of working together. So it was a lot of, pick up this idea, play with it a bit, set it down, walk down a path, doesn't really work, backtrack. And I think we were, draft 26, 27 by the time we were shooting?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of, 3 hours where we read it all together and then disappear for a week and go work in our room. I mean, it was a very natural, fun process. And we also had the benefit of knowing our team right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we had notes from all different sides of production.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually a rare sort of film experience where all of us department heads were involved in the development process, which is something that normally doesn't happen.
No,
And I feel like we were able to, by combining more perspectives from the beginning, we were able to, I feel like, cater the film very specifically to our strengths and to the strengths of the story and to what we wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, I think just, first of all, you went to AFI, so you understand that sometimes these experiences first year can go very poorly.
Absolutely.
And I think it
That's
spoke
the fun of it
volumes.
sometimes.
Yeah, the fun to hear about it, yeah.
Yes.
So I think for us, and the other team members we'd all worked with previously as well, so I think it just spoke to how we all love to collaborate. And then, as Abbie was saying and Cyrus was saying, that became a part of the development process, whereas not just a diversity of perspectives and life experiences, but also the diversity of strengths and skill sets all came into the script, which was really amazing.
Now, Abbie, for 26 drafts of a script, was there a time that you turned off the email notifications to be like, just let me know when you like are kind of close, at least locations are locked, or at least this character is locked, so that I don't have to keep updating everything?
Well, you want to know what's funny? No.
Right? We love that.
I kept. I mean, the good news is we were in development. Like
Yeah.
nothing was being planned out, thankfully.
Yes.
In the very early stages. However, I was very invested in this team and very like passionate about this story, and so I mean I have spreadsheets going back months, that I would just live update all the time. The setting of the story actually changed a fair bit from some of the beginning, and I like to think that I had a little bit of input as to where we landed.
Everything to do with it. It was Abbie's idea.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So no, I want to read all 26 drafts. I want to see the process. I loved it.
That's great. Now, one of the biggest things that we talk about here at CFA is the merging of the creative, technical, and practical, and the importance. And I know AFI is huge on storytelling and collaboration. What was it like getting on set? Were you present the entire time? Were you making different notes? What was kind of that dynamic? We have some laughter, so I wonder if there's a story here.
Well, Cyrus was very, very kind enough to take upon the mantle of on-set dresser when we found ourselves in a bit of a pinch.
It
so he was
happens.
very,
Yeah.
very involved.
He'd have like a
To-
paint bucket and a hammer and
Yeah.
whispering notes to me, like, what about this?
Yes,
I'd be like,
it was
I can
yeah,
picture
good,
this
good.
literally
exactly.
that. Yeah,
It
was-
always happens, I feel
So-
like. Yeah.
Probably not the on-set writing experience normally,
Yeah.
but
None,
absolutely vital.
actually. Yeah, I mean, there was some chaos that we shot in Silverstrand. I don't know if anybody's ever shot in Silverstrand before, but
Place
they
is
have
great.
wind tunnels.
Yeah.
It's
We
like a canyon.
had, like 25, 60 mile per hour
No,
winds?
it was a 65 mile an hour winds.
65
Yeah,
mile per hour
it was a
winds.
gale force warning.
Gale
Yeah,
force warning. I don't even
great.
know what that means.
It means I get a notification on my phone that says your set's gonna blow down.
So we built 13...
19.
19
18.
structures.
18 structures.
18.
18
was
structures.
11
That
19.
flew down a hill
It was 11 of 18.
a week before shooting.
And all the roofs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
essentially,
God.
any on-set writing that I would have maybe done, we had to pivot the entire art team to go back to rebuilding all of our exteriors.
The whole team in general.
The entire team. I mean, on the day of shooting, Eric's out there with a paintbrush to make sure it gets things. I'm serious. Like, it was an all-team effort.
love
'cause
it.
it was such a
I
big
cannot
thing.
say enough how grateful I am for the collaborators here who we aimed big and then we were hit by
Yeah.
an act of God
Yeah.
and then somehow we rallied
Yeah.
to literally every single person on the
Wow,
team.
it just speaks to like the true nature
that.
and love of collaboration and working with a team and how important it is to have a good team.
I mean,
That's everything.
Sorry to interrupt
No.
you, but also just shout out to Logan, our cinematographer, Logan Floyd, and Haley Beasley, our producer, because intrinsic in that story is how much they were also part of it, and it was something where we ended up having to, really pivot our shot list, and if we pan the camera a degree to the right, we'd be seeing offset. We had to
Yeah.
take our whole shot plan and just make it like a two-wall set sort of, and just really.
But
as we
I
were
will
working on
say
it.
this, one of the things I loved most about working on this film was that from the beginning, we were very, very, like, our goal, our whole, one of our big, like, things we wanted to accomplish was a sense of scale that
Yeah.
was not necessarily indicative of our budget level, and that gave me as a designer really, really wonderful opportunities to sort of flex the creativity, right? Like we did a
Yeah.
lot with sight lines. We laid out this whole town and like what can we see, what can't we see, where our priorities are. Like unfortunate luck aside, there was such a for lack of a better term, juicy opportunities for me as a
You could
production
taste that
designer to
adjective,
dig my
yeah.
teeth
It's
in.
great to have that mentality too,
Yeah.
because a lot of people might shy away from the mass of like 1570s,
Yeah.
like let's go there, 19 structures, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, this is awesome. What a great opportunity. And that's
More.
a fantastic
Let's do
headspace
more.
to be in,
Yeah.
especially when working within the limitations of weather, budget, constraints, skill
The
levels,
thesis process
things
in
like that.
general,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, this was a very intentional story and intentional team to make the story come to
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
And the last thing on that I just want to say to wrap that topic is like, on top of all the craziness that was going on and like the long hours that every member of the team was putting in, it was, nobody was getting in fights, nobody was arguing. There was such love shared with one another and compassion for the project and just care. We were all taking care of each other there.
Yeah.
Only 9-hour shoot days, though.
Only 9-hour shoot days.
We love that.
Not bad.
Didn't feel like it for me.
That was the love.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to talk about the themes here as well, because it is a character, complex character, who is wrestling, or like wrestling with an execution in their mind. How do we show that on screen when there's so many practical things that have to happen, when there's so many demands happening? How do we stay true to character and showcase on screen that complexity?
Yeah, I mean, that goes a lot to Frederick Samaj, who like portrayed Gabriel. We had this constant back and forth about the tension he would carry on his shoulders. He shaved parts of his head because we found out that there's a lot of hair loss when you carry that type of tension. There's just so many things visually he did, and then just his presence, his being was incredible. And I think that, I don't know. He was really instrumental, and working with him was such a joy. But it was tough not to give the character an easy way out, especially in a short film. You can give a redemption arc very, very cheesy, and I think that we did a good job of making the decision as hard on the character as possible while still giving a glimmer of hope.
Fantastic.
I also wanted to add too, one of the things that was a priority in my world was reinforcing every frame with some of these burdens that he bears. There is a prison in the movie, but we kind of wanted every place to feel like the prison,
Just a little short than he needed.
A little bit too
dude.
short,
Yeah.
a little bit too close, a little bit too, dark, and worked with Logan, our cinematographer, to pull that off. And so, but it was all on the foundation of such a wonderful and complex, layered script that we were able to work off of.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
One of
thank
our
you.
biggest mission statements here at Cinematography for Actors is bridging the gap between talent and crew. And we have that mission statement because what we want is for people to tell better stories, and they do that if they're on the same page. And so this is an exact representation of being on the same page throughout, from development to execution, pun intended.
Hey.
Now,
Bad.
thank you so much for joining us. Once again, we have the filmmakers of CARCASS here today at 5 p.m., and that is Eric Wang Schwager, the director, Cyrus Yalda, our screenwriter, and Abbie Vance, production designer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Amazing. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Join us in bridging the gap between talent and crew. Start by subscribing on your preferred podcast platform. Sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on vendor discounts, community events, new podcast releases, and you can educate yourself through our free course releases on YouTube.
It all starts at cinematographyforactors.com, and if you like this episode, consider leaving a review to make it easier for fine folks just like yourself to find us. We have some super exciting news. CFA has teamed up with We Make Movies to offer you a discount on production management services, including access to comprehensive production insurance, workers' comp for your next shoot. All you have to do is visit wemakemovies.com/insurance and use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote.
Also, we've just partnered with We Audition, which I'm sure you know I'm very excited about, to offer you 25% off your membership. Use code CFA25 to get that membership for only $7.50 a month or $75 a year.